Hey guys, welcome. In this video, we will learn the basics of how to operate the interdiction functions on the RSI Mantis in a few simple steps, especially for new players and for those who haven't used the Mantis for interdicting. First of all, let's understand the word interdiction. When you check the ship rule or function, if you search it by interdiction, you often see ships such as Mantis, of course, but you will also see Raven, guarding QI, colors blue, and so on. This is because usually people categorize these three functions as interdiction. 1. EMP, 2. Quantum snare, and 3. Quantum jammer or dampener. And what we're gonna talk about today is the last two, quantum snare and quantum dampener, which the Mantis can do both, and better than any other interdiction ship, especially the quantum snare. And so far, as of Alpha 4.7.1, among all the flyable ships, only the Mantis can do this quantum snare. And it does this by sending out a pulse that creates a 20-kilometer bubble, forcing ships to drop out of warp. But you do have to charge it every single time. In terms of the quantum jammer, no charging is needed. The Mantis can create a constant and steady jamming bubble for a radius of 12 kilometers that forces any ship within that range to travel only in SEM speed, whether they are in SEM mode or nav mode, as well as losing the ability to do a quantum jump. The Mantis is also a fast ship. The SEM speed can reach 236 meters per second without boost, and when boosted, it can fly as fast as 605 meters per second in space. So the speed alone, if used wisely, it can also protect the Mantis or escaping quickly from attackers. And that is why this ship occupies a very special and important place in Star Citizen universe, especially for PvP warfare and piracy activities. Knowing how to operate it will expand your gameplay experience, and especially how to avoid it. Alright, now let's learn how to operate the interdiction devices on the Mantis in a few simple steps. And these steps will be in a simple order as we take the ship out. Step number 1 is pre-flight check and power check, meaning that when you turn the ship on, make sure that you have enough power to power up your quantum interdiction generator, because this does require power, and a lot of power. 3 pips to be accurate. And you cannot give 1 pip or 2 pip. You have to give a 3 whole pip. And you also have the engine, shields, weapon system, and radar, and cooler. So you must check your power and check all your system if they have enough power. Also, you've noticed that you don't see life support in your system. Now, for my loadout, for this ship, I'm using all Stealth A components, including a Stealth A radar. But I find out that the Stealth loadout might not be the best choice, because once you turn on your interdiction device, your EM goes all the way up to almost hitting 30k, which has happened twice as I was recording this video. I'm gonna have to test this more to find out what is the best loadout for the Mantis, and I will be sharing my findings in a later video. But step number 1, just check your power and your system. Make sure that you have enough power to power all of them, including the QED device, both in SEM mode and in navigation mode. However, if you find yourself lack of power for the ship, one easy thing you can do is to change your weapon from laser to ballistic. So by default, we have the 2-3 laser cannons, and I swapped them to ballistic cannons, which requires only 1 power pip. So that will release some of the power pressure. And in terms of the missiles, that doesn't matter with your power. You can even put bombs on the ship as well. You can put 2 size 3 bombs while having 4 size 2 missiles. So that's step number 1. Once you turn the quantum interdiction generator on, you can see it visually on your ship. Turn it on. And then this is the device opening up and getting ready to whether quantum snare or interdiction. However, I am right now in a hangar, so that will lead to step number 2. you must place your ship outside the armistice zone for a certain distance. I think about 7 to 10 kilometers away from the armistice zone in order for you to activate the device. So step number 2 is positioning. Let's head out. Now, a good indication of knowing whether you are outside of the armistice zone or not is keep looking at the center of your QED device while keep flying outside the armistice zone. But of course, you have to make sure that your QED power is on, even in navigation mode. And keep flying. Oh, now all of a sudden you see your device is doing something. That's indication of the device can be activated for both the snare and the jammer. Even though we haven't touched any other button yet, we simply turn on the QED power from the power management section. And now we are jumping to Seraphim Station. So let's do this one more time. As I approach the armistice zone of Seraphim Station, the device just shuts down because we are in range of the armistice zone. So you need to position the ship well in order to activate the device. That's step number 2. And this is a visual indication of whether or when or where you can activate the device. So you have to fly away from the armistice zone for 7 to 10 kilometers at least. There we go. Now the device is doing something. Step number 3 is to activate your device. The button to activate these devices are on your left and right. In the middle, there is one button here as well. And on the left is quantum snare. And on the right is quantum dampener. Q dampener activate. So if you click this button, now you have a whole red energy ball surrounding your ship. This does not require charge, simply requires one click of a button. So it will send out a continuous burst of jamming field within 12 kilometers of radius. So any ship that's flying within 12 kilometers here cannot go to nav speed or do a quantum jump. When the device is active, for every single ship that's trapped in this field, they will see this notification in interdiction field, including myself. And by the way, I can activate this device both in nav mode and in SCM mode. Right now, I am simply in nav mode. And you can see I can only go to SCM speed, and I cannot do a quantum jump. The quantum jump UI is not even showing up because I'm in the interdiction field myself. When you want to go to nav speed or you don't need the jammer anymore, simply click deactivate right hand side. And then this is deactivated. Even though your device is still on, but you're not jamming anymore. If you want to turn off the device, simply turn off the power right here. And now I can make a quantum jump. And now my speed is a nav speed. Can reach almost 1400 meters per second. This is a very fast ship. Oh, there is a ship right here. So if I go here and turn the dampener active, I am jamming ships. It's an Idris here. He's flying fast. Slow down, buddy. Slow down. Slow the heck down. Now he's in interdiction field. He is slowing down really slow. Sorry. He's flying a brick. And now it's really slow. Oh, there's another ship right here. And 10 kilometers. He cannot go to nav speed. Especially for capital ships. This is very annoying because you can only fly this speed. Alright. Let's turn it off. Yep, there we go. He has a longer engine trail. Now he can fly a lot faster. Here, I want to mention a slight problem in activating the device in step number 3. For us, it already showed that a Q dampener activate. However, sometimes when you try to activate the button here, it doesn't show this. It only shows on and off. Let me try to turn it on and off. Yeah, Sometimes it only shows QD on and off. So let's click QD on. So that's another way of turning the QED generator on. You simply click right here if you shut down the ship and then turn it on. And then the power is not on. You simply click here QD on, or from here QD on, and the power will be on. But sometimes when you turn the power on, these two buttons still says QD on, QD off. So when that bug happens, you just turn the ship power on and off, cycle power a few times, or do some short jumps, or turn this on and off, or click a couple times. Just do whatever you can until you see this quantum dampener activate. So that part has a little bit of a bug, but today we haven't encountered that bug yet. It's very easy to turn and on and off, which is step number 3, simply one click of a button. Now, this is for the quantum jammer. Now, let's play with the quantum snare. If you want to do quantum snare, one click of a button. Click. And now you can see a purple thing right here, very beautiful. This is the charging stage. It takes 90 seconds to charge the snare. And the snare is like an EMP burst. You do have to fire it. However, how do you know when it's ready is this. You do have to go to SEM mode. So once you're in the SEM mode, on the top left corner, you see the yellow circle and the moon with a line. This yellow circle means it's charging. It takes 90 seconds, a minute and a half. And the number on the bottom says the percentage of the charge. Once it's in 100%, you see the circle turns green. Means right now you can release this burst. Now, in order to fire this burst, we'll have a step number 4, which is that you must go to the weapon group of QID. Now, how to do this? One way is to use default keybind. So hold left alt and use mouse wheel up and down. You can see you're switching the weapon groups now. Number 0 means weapon group number 1 on your weapon configuration tab. So 0 is 1 in this case. And number 1 is weapon group number 2. We don't have number 3. By default, weapon group number 4 is always QID. And weapon group number 5 is QED. QID means quantum snare and QED means quantum jammer. So number 4 is on your left hand side, same as when you press this button. And number 5 is QED. When you click it, same as when you click this button. So if you're in the weapon group number 5, for example, and just pull the trigger, you're entering the quantum jamming mode. And you don't have to click this button. And the button shows quantum dampener deactivate. So if you don't want to click this button, simply go to weapon group number 5. And another click, I just turn it off. So that's the shortcut for turning the devices on and off. Now, if I go to weapon group number 4, which is QID, left click, you can see the globe on top of my screen. It started charging. So that's the same thing as I click this button. Right now it says quantum snare cancel because we have activated it. So wait for 90 seconds. And on the bottom, the number is the percentage, 26%. And once you hear a little bit of a sound effect here, means it's charged. So if I press left trigger again, oh, never mind. I need to be on the QID mode. So that's why sometimes it just automatically goes to the gun mode. So make sure you're still on the QID mode. And now pull the trigger. Now the snare burst just got released. After that, it will enter a 1 second cooldown. You can pull the trigger again and it will start charging. One thing worth notice is this, that the quantum snare is different than EMP. When you half charge the EMP, it still does something, but half charged quantum snare, for example, like this, if I just release it, it simply enter the cooldown. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't snare any ship or snare shorter range. No. So you do have to wait for 90 seconds for the quantum snare to get fully charged and then release it. And by the way, if you want to know where you can find the keybind for this, simply click Keybind and click Advanced Control. All the keybinds are under Vehicle Weapons. And scroll all the way down. Weapon preset, set quantum jammer or quantum snare. I don't need to set any keybind for this because I found the default keybind is also very convenient. Left, Alt, and then mouse wheel. You can choose whichever you want, or simply use the buttons on the ship. So that's it. 4 simple steps on how to use the quantum interdiction devices on the Mantis. The rest is up to you to practice it, design a group tactics, and especially positioning yourself in a place where you can best quantum interdict traffics, which will be a different story. Alright guys, I hope this tutorial is helpful. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Have fun interdicting.